To start with, we'll look at some of the basic things here in the demo. We'll look at what is AEM and what is Adobe Marketing Cloud. Basically, AEM is a part of Adobe Marketing Cloud. We'll look at the AEM capabilities. We'll look at the different kind of users or profiles that are there into the AEM project. We'll look at the
Okay.
technology stack, and then we'll look at the other integration of patterns that are available with AEM. So, as I said, AEM is basically stands for Adobe Experience Manager. Adobe Experience Manager is part of the Adobe Marketing Cloud solution. So you guys might know, like, there's this company called Adobe, which has many
Yeah.
products. So probably you're familiar with, most of you probably, or maybe all of you are familiar with PDF at least, right? So
Yes.
okay. So Adobe has many other products in fact. So basically the products are divided into three categories. It's called Adobe Marketing Cloud, Adobe Document Cloud, and Adobe Creative Cloud. So Adobe Creative Cloud has products which are basically used by designers. For example, if you talk about Photoshop or a digital publishing suite, so those are basically a designer-oriented tool or used for designing a website. Then you have a document cloud, which again contains a product. For example, Adobe Lifecycle, Adobe Forms, Adobe PDF, right? So these are all for document processing capabilities, and there are many other products in that. Adobe Experience Manager basically belongs to the third of the category, that is Adobe Marketing Cloud. So Adobe Experience Manager is basically a web content management system. Okay, there are other products into the marketing cloud. For example, Adobe Analytics, Adobe Audience Manager, Adobe Campaign, Media Optimizer, Adobe Primetime, Adobe Social, and Adobe Target. So each one of these are different products, and they each have a different responsibilities and utilities that can be used. So you guys might have heard a term called digital marketing, okay, or going digital. So Adobe is basically positioned as a leader in the digital marketing space because of the product that it offers into the Adobe Marketing Cloud solutions. Then we have the other cloud-based solution like Creative Cloud, which is also used in the digital marketing. Okay. So during the course of the training, we'll look basically at the Experience Manager or AEM, and then we'll also look what other products has to offer, and then how do we integrate these other products into the Experience Manager product. So typically, if you are working in a large-scale website or for a big client, they will be using Experience Manager along with many of these other products, especially the campaign, the target, analytics, and social. These are quite popular products. They integrate very nicely with the Experience Manager, and they provide a lot of value additions. Okay, uh, we'll go into the details of each of these products and how do they integrate, because these all products are part of Adobe Marketing Cloud solution. So the integration is very easy. There's a very simple configuration that you have to do to integrate each of the product into the Experience Manager, and they provide a lot of value into your system. Okay. Uh, to give you basically a little brief about the different products, so especially the ones which are more popular. So if we talk about analytics, it is also called Adobe Site Catalyst or Adobe Analytics 2. Okay. This is a product which will help you to track your users' behavior across their website. Okay. Now, why you want to do that? Because you want to measure whatever content you are creating, whatever campaigns you're launching, or whatever you're doing into your website is effective or not. Or if you want to know how your users are integrating or how your users are interacting with your system or your website, what are the things that interest to them. okay, what they're looking for. Now, how do you implement the analytics? Analytics is nothing but you design your web pages, and then you integrate, or basically you place some JavaScript code into those web pages on HTML pages. That JavaScript basically track users behavior, and then it sends back the data to the analytics product. The analytics product then analyzes this data and then creates a report. For example, you want to know that what are the products that are most popular onto your homepage. Suppose you are a shopping website and you have say 10 or 20 products onto your homepage, which basically your prime product or which you want to focus on. Now, if you want to know which of the product that user is clicking more often, you can implement the analytics, and then that analytics can then be uh, you know analyzed and created a report using which you can further optimize your product, or probably you can provide a discount or whatever. Okay, you are analyzing what product is basically useful. Other thing is you can also track from where your users are coming. Suppose you want to know if your website say is in North America, and you want to know from which city or which state your users belongs to. Okay, again, analytics can you give you that report. It can analyze the geographical data basically with the help of the IP, okay, or the geolocation if you're using it from the mobile device, and then again it can create a report, and then on the fly you can basically use that data as well. Suppose you're a user from say California, okay, and you're logging into the site, then probably you will display a banner saying that free shipping to California, or a special discount to that user. So you're basically personalizing the site with the help of analytics. You can find out from which links your users are clicking more often, which pages they are going, how much time they're spending, or if you want to know uh, from which source your users are coming. Either they are coming by Google search, or they are clicking by clicking onto the any another site, or they're coming by clicking onto the email that you have sent as a part of promotion. That again you can use and utilize that report to target your marketing spends wisely. That's one product basically that can help you doing that. Then you have Adobe Target. Adobe Target is basically used for targeting your content. Okay, so similar example. For example, you are able to find out with the help of analytics and target that your user that is coming into a website is a male who's 35 years old, and say who lives in say California. Okay, then probably you want to show certain promotion. Okay, or you want to show the products which are maybe based on its past history, or maybe a product that can appeal to male users. Similarly, if a female user say in the age of say 40 comes to a website from say Washington, then probably you want to show different content onto your website. So you are basically personalizing your website depending on your user needs. Okay, so that thing is possible with the help of Target. Target as a standalone product can also be used with other content management system, but if you are using Experience Manager, you can again nicely integrate that uh, Target and Experience Manager. The third and important suite of product is Adobe Social. So you guys know that nowadays you have a Facebook or Twitter, LinkedIn, all those social website, right? And user or a brand basically have presence across these websites also. Now, if somebody is commenting on across this social website about your brand or your product, you can probably utilize that comments or reviews into your website. Or the other way around, suppose a user comes into your website and purchases or shops for a product, you can provide a button that sharing that activity or sharing that buying experience with your users across his Facebook account. So you are utilizing all the social media with the help of Adobe Social products. Similarly, campaign is a product which will help you to launch campaigns. Suppose if on a Thanksgiving day you want to launch a special campaign and you want to send out email to all of your users. Okay, with the help of campaign you can utilize that thing. So all these basically things are a part of digital marketing techniques, which is very popular these days. Everybody is going digital. If you look for bigger companies, whether it's TCS, Infosys, Accenture, Cognizant, Wipro, anyone, Deloitte, they all have their digital section or digital strategy that they are following, because most of the brand these days going for this digital changes. So digital refers to digital marketing, where you identify your user, you target your content, and then you analyze all these trends, and then you utilize all these tools to maximize your business profit. Okay. Now, if we talk about, so these things are basically the different products that comes under a marketing cloud. Experience Manager is also one of the product, and it's the most important product, for which the training is all about. We just touched upon other product, what are the use of those and how they can integrate with this one. Okay, so now we'll look at the Experience Manager, what it is and what it does. Anyone have any questions so far?
Yeah, as of now, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, so let's move on. So as we see that Adobe Experience Manager or Experience Manager, or previously CQ5 as it was known, is a web content management system. Right? It's a web content management system. Not only that, if you look over the internet, there are many web content management systems in the market. Uh, some examples are Sitecore, Drupal, WordPress, Joomla. There are many, but the most successful and at the top is the product that's called Adobe Experience Manager. So there is a Gartner report that gets published, uh, every year or so, where they rank each of the product in each of the category, depending on their popularity, their ease of use, and their strengths. AEM or CQ5 has been consistently ranked as number one the web content management system in the digital marketing space. Okay. All other products comes after this. So if you learn AEM, there is a huge opportunity for you to work in AEM projects, because right now there is you know a shortage of resources or people who knows AEM, and around one third of the Fortune 500 companies are using AEM for their websites, and more companies are considering AEM for their web content management system. Okay. Because of its strength, because of the company that is associated with AEM, and because of the feature that it provides. It's very easy to build website with the help of AEM. Okay. So if you are a marketing person, or if you're a business person and you want to launch a product, or if you want to launch a page, or if you want to create new content, it's as simple as just clicking here and there and then making it live without the help of involving of any technical people or any development team. So the ease of use plus the features that it provides makes it very strong product. That's why there is a huge demand of AEM developer out there, and they command a really good rates in the market. So if you are an AEM developer, there are very good chances. So I can also share a market report that's published quarterly, which will give you a rough idea of how much opportunity, how many opportunities are there in the market. Okay. Now that's aside. So when we say a web content management system, or AEM is a WCM, what do we mean by that? So WCM, or a web content management system, by definition is a bundled or standalone application that is used to create, manage, store and deploy content on web pages. Simply said, this is basically an application or a platform which will help you to create and manage, edit and deploy the web pages, or basically your website. Okay, so it's nothing, it's basically a tool which will help you create and manage your website. Okay, now why we call it a web content management system? Like creating a website is very simple thing, right? I mean, Since the start of the internet years ago, we are building website, right? And it's like just creating some HTML pages, linking them together by a menu, and then deploying it on the web server. It's as simple as that. Why do I need a web content management system, right? Or why Adobe AEM is so popular? If I don't know if you guys have the idea, but AEM, even though it's at the top, it's very costly. The implementation goes into millions of dollars. On top of that, you will not find any trial or freeware version of AEM in the market. Okay, so Adobe is so confident of their product, they don't care of providing any freeware or trialware. Okay, because no small company or no even mid-sized companies will be able to afford AEM. It's in millions of dollars. So if you look at the companies that are using it, like Intel or MasterCard or Kellogg's, and there are many more like Visa, MasterCard. So these are all very big companies, and they can only afford AEM. Okay, so why for a simple thing like creating a website we need a WCM? So reason being, if you are a very big organization, you would have hundreds and thousands of pages in your website. Not only that, you will have websites in other languages as well. Okay, so if you go to an Intel website or if you go to a Kellogg's website, okay, these companies are basically selling their product across the world in every country, right? And they would want that whenever they launch a product or whenever they want to make any changes. So for example, if we talk about the example of Kellogg's, the Kellogg's has more than 80 websites along with more than 200 microsites in different languages. Now, if they want to launch a product, they cannot go and create pages in all those 80 websites and 200 microsites. Right? They need something which can help them to create and launch a page or product, and with the help of very few clicks. Okay, so that's where your web content management systems comes into picture. Okay, or for example, talk about Amazon. Okay, they're they keep launching products, right, every second maybe. Now, you cannot involve your IT team or development team to create a web page every time you want to, create a product, or if you want to launch a product. What do you need? Probably a simple form-based kind of interface where you just fill out the details, provide the images, and then you click on create, and your page gets created. Right. So that's where, or maybe another example could be, suppose you're a website which provide news all over the world. Right. Now, so so if you're a news website, right, the content on your website is changing every hours or maybe every minute as the new news are coming, right? Breaking news are coming. Now, you would not want any developer to create those news. You would want that your journalist or your editors are self-sufficient to just open your interface in a device, in a mobile, in a computer, and they just type the news, and all the look and feel and everything is taken care by itself. Okay, so uh, basically a web content management system will help you to create, manage, store, and deploy the content on web pages. When we say content, it's everything that you see on a web page or a website. Okay, it's all content. Okay. Other features of a web content management system is basically cataloging or indexing the content. Okay, so it will index the content so you can find it very easily, or deliver content to a specific visitor in a personalized way. So what this means is that you're able to deliver your content in a personalized manner. So the example that I gave you earlier, for example, a male is coming or a female is coming from a certain geography with a certain age, you can provide different content with the help of a WCM. Your WCM will help you to target your content. Okay, so all these are basically theory. Other things, the main idea is basically you want to manage your content, especially you want to create the content, you want to edit the content, you want to update it. You also want kind of workflow. So no, For example, in case of a product launch, or maybe in case of a news article, you would not want that a person just comes and fill the information and click on create and the page gets created. Probably what you would want that someone who is creating the content is responsible for only creating the content, but if it gets published or not, or if it gets goes to your website or not, probably someone else is responsible. For example, if we talk about approval, okay, you would want that your editors or probably your journalists are able to create all the content or the news article, but only your chief editor or your reviewer has the authority to make those pages live. So this is another example where a web content management system can help you. So your author will create the content, and then it will go to a workflow where it will be reviewed and approved by someone else who has the authority to approve it. So this again a feature of a web content management system. Okay. It was publishing engine. So that's a very interesting concept that we are going to see into our training. What do you mean by publishing engine? And it often provides an approval process or workflow. That's why I've said, it provides a workflow for approval. So what we saw is basically a generic definition of a web containment system and the characteristics that applies to all the other web containment system, whether it's Sitecode, Drupal, or WordPress or Joomla or anything. Okay, all these will provide that kind of features. Now, if we look about AEM, what does it provide? Okay, so it provides web content management. When we say web content management is ability to create, edit, update, and publish the content on the website. It provides workflow management. When we say workflow management is basically, the same example that we saw about the um, just a second. Yeah, it's about creating the content and approving the content. Okay, another example could be automated process. You create something onto your web pages and you want a workflow to be triggered to generate some information out of it. So a workflow is also provided by AEM. And DAM, or digital asset management as it is called, is again a feature that AEM provides. What do we mean by digital assets? This is basically so if you look at any modern website today, you would not have only text, right, into your website. You would have images, you will have PDF files, you will have documents, you will have catalogs, you will have videos. All these are called digital assets, right? Now over the course of time, your digital asset keeps growing. Okay, you need, so your HTML pages can be stored onto your web server, right? But your images, your video, your PDF file, they need to be stored in a certain manner so that they can be easily retrieved and can be presented to the user. So as your site grows and evolves, you end up having hundreds and thousands and millions of images and videos, right? How do you organize them so that you can find it very easily and in an efficient and better manner? There DAM comes into picture, or a digital asset management comes into a picture, which is again a feature that is provided by AEM. Okay. Another example of a DAM, for example, you want an image onto your web page. Okay. Now, if somebody is accessing your web page on a web browser with a 10 Mbps connection on a connected LAN, you can present a high resolution, high quality image, because he has a very good network, he has a good bandwidth, and he is using a bigger screen of a laptop where you can give that image. Now, if somebody is accessing the same web page on a mobile device on a slower connection, you would not want to give that 1 MB or 2 MB image, because the experience will be not good. The image will keep loading and probably the user in frustration will close their website, and you don't want to lose your visitor. So you would want to present a very low resolution image that can look better into that small screen and which can load quickly. DAM can help you in that. Okay, so DAM can generate a renditions. What is rendition? Rendition is basically different format and different dimension of a digital assets. Similar in case of videos also, like probably if you go to YouTube video, you see option for different you know quality, HD quality or 720 or 360 or 240 or 140, right? And depending on your if you choose a low resolution or low quality, you see that your video gets loaded very quickly. Okay, but if you are on a faster connection, you would probably want to see in HD because there is no lag. So again, DAM will provide those kind of feature for you. Analytics and social collaboration I've already explained to you. So as part of AEM, you also have analytics and social collaboration built in. Not maybe not that sophisticated, but a basic you know features are available. If you want to have more advanced feature, you can go for Adobe Analytics product or Adobe Social product. Okay. Any question here? Okay. Yeah. So by using this software, these are all the things that we have discussed. Author and publish the website, workflow definitions, manage a repository of digital assets, images, videos, documents, support inbuilt search mechanism. So it provides you, search mechanism so that you can search the content. It provides social collaboration tool, for example, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter login and Twitter integration, blog, user groups, and everything. Okay, it allows you to organize your digital assets, and it allows you to create tags so that you can easily find your content, and it also gives you feature for launching and optimizing and creating your marketing campaigns. Okay. Uh, Experience manager. So as we said, you can manage your experiences, whether it's on desktop, device, mobile apps. Depending on your device, AEM will serve you the content. Okay, it can identify if you're on a desktop. It can identify if you're on mobile. It can identify if you're on a slower connection, and then it can provide you the content which is best suited for your experience. Industries in which AEM is getting used. So as I said, more than 1/3 of the Fortune 500 companies are now using AEM, and more are planning to use it. It's a huge market for AEM that's evolving, and a lot of companies are using it in all the industry segments. A little bit of history about AEM or CQ, it was called. So around 2000 or around late 90s, it was released by a Swedish company called Day Software. Originally it was named as Communic. Communic 1, Communic 2 was released, and then Communic 3 was released around 2002. So earlier version of Communic were written in C++. In Communic 3, it was rewritten with Java framework. Then they released version 4 and version 5. Uh, then they renamed it to CQ, Communic short form. And there was a couple of versions for 5.0, 5.2, 5.2.1, 5.3, and 5.4. If this time around 5.3 and 5.4, Adobe Software basically acquired the Day Software company, and they renamed the product to Adobe Experience Manager. And the next version after acquiring the Day Software is released was AEM 5.6. Later they also released 5.6.1. As of now, the latest version that is released is AEM 6.2. That's just released a couple of months back. So after 5.6, there was version 6.0, 6.1. There are major changes into the architecture if we look about AEM 5.6 and AEM 6. So if you happen to work in a project which is still using AEM 5.6, and there are many, you will need to think about all those changes while working on that product if you're migrating or upgrading from 5 to 6, right? Because that's a very huge task, and a lot of companies are basically going for the migration and upgrade from AEM 5 to AEM 6 because the support of AEM 5.6 is about to end. Okay, so you'll find a lot of projects moving from 5 to 6, and because there are major changes, you'll see a lot of work there. Okay, if you work with AEM, what roles you can play? So if you are using AEM for your website management, you could be an author, you could be a developer, or you could be a system admin. Okay, what do we mean by author? Author means the person who create the content, okay, or who create the web pages. For example, as we saw, the news editor or the journalist, right? These are the author. They are not the technical people, or maybe your marketing team who just want to launch a campaign or who just want to launch a product. They are not the technical person. What they need is basically an ability to create the content. Okay, so these will be authors. So if you are a developer, you are not a right fit for the author role. Author will be played by your marketing people or someone who is responsible for creating the content. Okay. So if you are a software programmer or software developer, there are two roles that you can play. Either you could be a developer or you could be a system admin. So talking about system admin is the person who is responsible for installing, managing, and maintaining the AEM environment. Okay, so if you want to fine tune the AEM instance for performance, or if you want to do configuration, if you want to install it, if you want to install new patches, if you want to create user, if you want to create roles, if you want to give permissions, okay, all these things. If you want to create a load balancer, if you want to manage virtual IPs, all these things are done by a system admin. Okay. The third role is a developer role. A developer is basically responsible for creating the content or basically the component or the software with the help of which author can create the content. Okay, so you as a developer will be creating components. So what is the component? The component is basically kind of you can say a reusable unit which can be used by author to create content on the web pages. So if you look at the image on my screen, you see there is an image and there is some text and there is a link. So in the background there is an image, then there is a text on it, adventure awaits, okay, and then there is some text more, and then there is a link called shop now. Okay, now if you are an author, what you will do, you will basically pick an image component and drag and drop it onto a web page. Okay, and then you will configure whatever image you want. Then you will pick up a text component and you will then place it onto the image component, and then you will write adventure awaits. Then you will pick a link component and then you will place it onto the image. So you as an author are basically using your component, image component, link component, text component, okay, to create the content. And a developer who has basically created the image, text, and link component. So that is the job of a developer. Is it clear now? Okay. Now, if we talk about developers, there are again, two kind of developers in AEM projects typically. One is called front-end developer, the other is called back-end developer. Okay. Front-end developer is someone who is very good at HTML, JavaScript, CSS, and basically all the UI technologies. The backend developer are someone who is good in Java programming language. Okay, so if you look at AEM and then we'll see, in our coming session, that entire AEM product is built on top of HTML, JavaScript, Java, and all these technologies. Okay, so either you could be a Java developer or you could be a UI developer, and then you could create components. And in a typical AEM project, a Java developer and a UI developer collaborate with each other to create the component that author can use. Okay, now we'll look at a demo in a short while. So as I said, a component, what is a component? So a component is someone that authors need it and they add the new content using your component. And I'll show you what the component is. Again, there is one more thing called template. So template gives you the flexibility of creating web pages easily. So you can choose a template and then you can easily create web pages without any help from your developers. Developer will create the templates and the component. Okay. Admin, I already told you, admin will provide the admin related task. Uh, Requisite of development with CQ or AEM. So for developing with AEM, you need to have basic knowledge of XML request and XML response, or basically AJAX, some knowledge of HTML, knowledge of CSS, knowledge of JavaScript. Slightly is basically a language that is introduced by Adobe in AEM 6. It is nothing but your HTML5 syntax. So if you know HTML, Slightly is nothing but your HTML. You will need a basic knowledge of Java Server Pages. If you work for 5 dot or 5 or 5.6 versions, because when from 6.0 they are using Slightly, they are not using JSP. But if you happen to work on a project that is using older version, probably you'll need to have some knowledge of JSP as well, and basic knowledge of Java. You don't need to have very advanced level knowledge of Java, but you need to know the basic programming concept of doing programming in Java. These are the requisites. Uh, if you want to install AEM, then you need to have a Windows machine or a Linux machine with enough RAM. It can run on 4 GB RAM as well, but if it is 8 GB, it will be run very faster. You will need to have JDK, either 1.6 or any higher version. You need to have a Maven if you want to build your project. You will need the Eclipse for doing the programming in Java, and GitHub client if you are using any source control repository which will be given by your company, and CRXDE tool. Basically, CRXDE tool is now no longer needed with the help with the AEM6. There is an Eclipse plugin that I'm going to show you, that you can use and easily create the entire project from scratch if you use that plugin. And the important thing is AEM 6.0's jar file, or jar file of whatever version you want to use. So as I said, this jar file is not available anywhere as a freeware or shareware. So either you get it from your company for which you're working, or if you undergo training, you get the jar file. Okay, now let me quickly go to a demo and show you how AEM works, or how AEM looks. Sorry. Yeah. So if you look at my screen, you see a small window that is basically comes when you click on the jar file. So you guys are aware a jar file, right? It's a zip file which have Java classes in it. So once you double click the jar file, this window appears, and once the initialization is done, uh, a browser window gets opened, and your AEM window comes into the picture. So let me show you that. So once your screen gets open, you'll see a login box like this. Okay, that means your AEM has started. If it doesn't get started for some reason, although it doesn't happen, whenever AEM gets started, you'll see this window. But for some reason, if your browser is not running or your browser is not opening, you can just type this URL: localhost clone 4502/welcome, and then you will see this. Now, when you see the sign in screen, you can type default username admin and password is admin. Okay, and click on sign in. Once you do that, you'll see this screen. Okay, this screen will provide you the links from using which you can work into your Adobe Experience Manager product. Okay, the screen that you see right now onto your or the page that you see onto your screen is called Classic UI. So AEM gives you two types of UI. One is called Classic UI, the other is called Touch UI. Now, as I was telling you that Starting with AEM 6, there are major changes into the AEM platform. The one change that is there is basically the introduction of Touch UI. Now, what does Touch UI mean? Uh, Let me go to this URL. This is called the Touch UI or the new interface. Now, what is different about this interface is this interface is very easy to use if you are using touch devices. Okay, so AEM is basically targeted for content marketing people or business people who can create the content very easily, right? And if they want to do it via using a tablet or a mobile, they should be able to do it. They don't have to go to a computer. So keeping those things in mind, this touch UI has been designed. The functionalities are both the same here and there. The only difference is in look and feel. And then there are some additional things are here. Then we'll see, what are the additional things here. Okay. Now let me see you. Let me tell you, how you create or manage your website into AEM. The first link that you see here is called websites. Okay. This is your web content management part. This link will give you the ability to create, edit, manage your web content or your web pages. So you click on this website, you come to this site admin tool. Okay, here you can see all the websites that are deployed into your AEM. Now, whenever you install AEM, there are some simple websites that get automatically installed by your AEM instance. Okay, why this gets installed is basically to help you with uh, understanding how a website is built, or if you want to reuse anything from the simple website. Now you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 websites are there right now, and there is another one that I have created, training one. These 6 websites are automatically created or installed when you install your AEM. Okay, now let's go to say the geometrics demo site. Now if you see the screen, when I click on the geometrics demo site, okay, you see English, French, Dutch, Spanish, Italian, Chinese, and Japanese, I think. All these pages, right? Now if you look at AEM capabilities, creating your websites into multiple languages is one of the features that AEM gives you. Okay, what do you do if you create your website in English? Okay, suppose this is your English website and all these are your English pages, and you want to create this exactly same website into say Spanish or French. You can easily just go to the tools, okay, and you can just click on language copy, and you can choose which language you want to convert, okay, and just you can say okay. Of course there is some more configuration and a workflow are there, but it is almost as simple as that. Now imagine if you have a hundreds and thousands of English page website and you are launching your product or your website into France, and you want a French website. Now it's very easy for you to create the entire website with the click of a simple buttons, right? So this is one thing. Now if I want to open the website, I'll just double click this thing, and you see my website is opened. Okay, this is my website. Now this is also called author mode. Author mode because in this mode I can basically create or edit the content. Okay, so if you see these boxes, these are all basically placeholder where I can drag and drop the content. Okay, so if you look at this is the content. This is an image component. Now I want to edit this component. Okay, now suppose instead of this image, I want this image here. So I will just drag and drop and place it here. Now you can see the image has been changed, right? So this is as simple as that. Now this is again, a component, this text. I want to edit it, strategic consulting. Now I would say just new strategic consulting. And now this has been changed. Similarly, if I want to change anything here, I can change it, right? So as an author, I have the flexibility of creating the content very easily on my website, right? Again, I can change the images. So this is how AEM will help you to manage or create the content onto your website without the help of your technical team. Okay. So this is about modifying and editing an existing page. Now I want to create a new page, suppose. Okay. What I will go, suppose I want to create a page here. Okay. Now I'll just say go to new and we'll create a new page. These are things are templates. If I want to create a content page, or if I want to create a home page or asset page, anything, right? These are, it will give you my initial content. Let me create a new page called sample. I'll choose say a content page template and I'll say create. Now you see my sample page is created. Now let me open it. You see the menu, the logo, the search box, the links, everything are automatically created, and some initial content also, because whatever template I have chosen is giving me my initial content. Now I want to create some more content. So suppose I want to place an image. Okay. So I'll just drag and drop an image component first. Okay. And then I'll drag and drop an image here. Okay. So in this way I have added image. Now suppose I don't want this image. Let me delete this. I want an image along with text. So I will use a text and image component. I'll drag it and drop it. Text and image component. For editing, what I want to edit, suppose I want to edit an image. So I'll go again here. I'll place an image. Okay, then I'll place some text. You can see it is as easy as to just drag and drop. Now suppose, now think about the marketing people or the content author, how easy it for them to create new pages and add content to it, right? This is the capability of AEM, which is very popular and very competitive from other content management system, which it gives you very ease of use a drag and drop feature for creating the content. Okay, now let's look at the other things. This is about, now you can basically create an entire website structure. You can create a live copy, launches. All these things are basically advanced thing that I'm going to cover into the training. You can activate it. That is again a concept that I'm going to cover into the training. The other thing is DAM, or digital asset management. So now if you look at digital asset management, we discussed that discussed about the images and the videos and different formats and everything, right? Now if you look at some of the images here, let me open this image, suppose. Now if you look at this image is one, and the right hand side you see one, two, three, four, five images. Okay, one name, the name of one image is original. The second name is cqdam.web of 12801280. That means it is 12801280 pixel. Again 319 pixel, 140 pixel, and a thumbnail image. Now from where these images are coming? These images are automatically getting created by your DAM. So you can utilize these different image depending on your requirement, whether you are serving content for a desktop device or a mobile device or a feature phone, depending on all scenarios, you can use it. And AEM automatically creates all these format, all these rendition for you. Or optionally, if you also want, you can create, your own format as well. And you can basically, categorize your digital assets into different categories, and whatever you see here into the website, basically. Okay, assets. Everything is coming from this DAM. All these images are stored into DAM, from where you can drag and drop it to your page. Okay, so as simple as that. So you upload the image into the DAM, and then there are different formats, renditions generated that you can drag and drop into your pages depending on your requirement. So this is DAM. This is many features, and a lot of things are here that I'm going to cover again into the classes. But this is the basic introduction of your DAM. You have campaigns, so you can, as I said, you can launch campaigns if you want to target your a particular segment of user or all of your user with any promotion. You can use the campaigns to create those one. And there is another product called Adobe Campaign. If you want more features or more advanced feature, then you can use that product also. The inbox is basically the messages that comes to your author or your editor depending on different actions. It is basically used in combination of your workflows. Okay, the user management console is something where you create your users so that they can log into the system and they can perform their roles. Then you have tools. You have different miscellaneous tools that you can use to create maybe a multi-language site, or you want to create launches, or you want to package your JavaScript file and CSS file. There are many features that you can use, and the tools. There are a lot of tools that you can use. The tagging is something is basically used for tagging your content so that you can find it easily. Suppose you have hundreds and thousands of images into your DAM, and you want to upload say 10 images that you want to use for a particular marketing campaign. Now if you go to your DAM, how do you identify those images? So you can use tags. So you can tag them with say a summer campaign, and with the help of tag you can easily identify. Okay. Then there are other tools, replication agents, workflows, cloud services, from where you can integrate with other Adobe Marketing Cloud products. There are various reports that you can generate to find out more about your AEM instance or any component that are being used. You can take backup. There are many other things basically that makes your life very simple if you work with AEM. Okay, we are all going to do this. So in the course of the training, we're first going to look about the core technology stack. Basically, as I said, the basic technology is your Java, HTML, CSS, JavaScript. But on top of that, you have frameworks like JCR, which is a framework for storing your data. A framework called Sling, which is basically a framework for finding your data into AEM or resolving your web pages. You have a framework of OSGI, which is something that is you use to develop modular application, and it's a core of your AEM application. So all this technology stack, we are going to look about it. We're going to look about classic UI, how to develop component for the classic or the old UI, how to develop the component for touch UI. We're going to see how you can create the entire website from scratch. So as part of the training, we're going to create an entire website. We'll create our own component, simple component, complex component. We'll be creating our workflows. All these things we're going to cover, and then finally we're going to see what are the new features into the recently released version of AEM 6.2. And then we'll end the training. At the end of the training, we'll have mock-up interviews to help you, clear your interviews, and if you appear for the AEM job positions. Okay, so this is about a little demo of the training that we're going to do. Uh, so you guys, if you have any question, just let me know, and then I can provide you more details over here.